How long does an executor have to settle an estate in Georgia? When an individual takes on the role of an executor or personal representative, they are stepping into a position that requires diligence, attention to detail, and a clear understanding of the timelines dictated by state law. In Georgia, the timeline for settling an estate can vary significantly based on the complexity of the estate, the clarity of the deceased's wishes, and the efficiency of the probate process. It's essential for executors to understand these factors and recognize the importance of timely action to fulfill their duties effectively and honor the intentions of the deceased. If you're stepping into the role of an executor and find yourself trying to balance respect for the decedent's legacy with the legal expectations of estate settlement, the timeline can seem daunting. At Trace Brooks Law, experienced Atlanta probate attorney Trace Brooks can provide clarity and support, helping you navigate the probate process with confidence and meet all necessary deadlines. If you're in need of guidance or simply have questions about your role and responsibilities, contact us today at 404-492-9559 to schedule a consultation. Understanding the time frame for estate settlement in Georgia. Settling an estate in Georgia involves a series of legal steps designed to ensure that the deceased's assets are distributed according to their wishes, or in the absence of a will, in accordance with state laws. Factors affecting the duration of estate settlement. Size and complexity of the estate. Larger estates with numerous or complicated assets, like businesses or out-of-state properties, typically take longer to settle. Existence of a will. Estates with a clear, uncontested will generally move through the process more quickly than those without one, or those with a will that is being contested. Probate court caseload. The efficiency of the local probate court can affect the estate settlement timeline. A higher caseload may lead to longer processing times. Debts and taxes. Identifying, notifying, and paying creditors, as well as settling any taxes owed by the estate, can be time-consuming. Beneficiary issues. Disagreements among beneficiaries or difficulties locating or communicating with them can slow down the process. Litigation. If the will is contested or if there are disputes among the heirs or beneficiaries, the resulting litigation can greatly extend the timeframe for estate settlement. Overview of the typical timeline for estate settlement. Appointment of personal representative. If the deceased left a will, it usually names an executor. If not, the court will an administrator to act as personal representative of the estate. This process can take anywhere from a few weeks to a few months, depending on how promptly family members submit the required paperwork and the estate's location. Petition for probate. The personal representative files a petition to open probate with the appropriate Georgia probate court. This should be done immediately, according to Georgia law, but what is considered timely can vary. Notice to creditors and inventory. Georgia law requires personal representatives to publish a notice to creditors in the official legal organ of the county once a week for 4 weeks. Personal representatives also have an obligation to present an inventory of the estate within 6 months after being appointed. Paying debts and taxes. The personal representative must settle the deceased's debts and taxes, which can take several months depending on the complexity of the estate's finances. Distribution of assets. After debts and taxes are paid, the remaining assets can be distributed to the beneficiaries. This process can be relatively quick if there are no disputes. Closing the estate. The personal representative must file a petition for discharge with the court, which, if approved, officially closes the estate. This step often can't occur until at least 5 months have passed to allow for the period for creditors to file claims. The entire process, from the appointment of the personal representative to the final distribution and closing of the estate, can take anywhere from 6 months to several years, with a typical uncontested estate often being settled within a year. However, each estate is unique, and the time frame can vary widely depending on the specific circumstances and factors outlined above. Potential delays and challenges in estate settlement in Georgia. The process of settling an estate in Georgia can be straightforward in some cases, but there are often delays and challenges that can arise and complicate matters. Handling complex assets and their impact on settlement timelines. Complex assets such as businesses, commercial real estate, or valuable collections can significantly extend the timeline for settling an estate. These types of assets typically require formal appraisals and may be more difficult to liquidate quickly and for fair value. In some cases, it may be necessary to maintain a business or manage properties until they can be sold or transferred to beneficiaries, which requires ongoing attention and can prolong the settlement process. Additionally, if the deceased had significant digital assets or intellectual property, the personal representative might face unique challenges in accessing, valuing, and transferring these assets, especially if there are no clear instructions or legal precedents to guide them. Addressing disputes, contests, and litigation in estate settlement. Disputes among beneficiaries or between beneficiaries and the personal representative can lead to contests and litigation, which are among the most significant sources of delay in the settlement of an estate. In Georgia, if someone with a legal interest in the estate, such as a disinherited heir or a creditor, challenges the validity of the will or the administration of the estate, this can halt the probate process until the dispute is resolved, either through negotiation or by the court. The litigation process can be lengthy and may involve extensive discovery, court motions, and possibly a trial, which can take months or even years to conclude. During this time, the estate assets are typically frozen, preventing their distribution to beneficiaries. Executors must navigate these legal challenges carefully, often with the assistance of an attorney, to protect the assets of the estate and to ensure that the final distribution is in accordance with the deceased's wishes and Georgia law. Strategies to mitigate delays and expedite estate settlement. Efficient estate settlement in Atlanta, Georgia, often hinges on the personal representative's ability to anticipate and mitigate potential delays. By implementing strategic measures, executors can navigate through the complexities of the process and expedite the distribution of the estate to the beneficiaries. Engage professional services. Hiring experienced estate attorneys and accountants can help streamline the settlement process, ensuring that all legal and financial aspects are handled correctly and efficiently. Maintain open communication. Keeping beneficiaries informed about the process and any anticipated delays can prevent misunderstandings and minimize disputes that could otherwise cause setbacks. Consolidate assets. Where possible, simplifying the estate by consolidating assets can reduce the complexity and time needed for asset management and distribution. Preemptive planning. If possible, working with the testator before death to ensure that estate planning documents are up to date and assets are well organized can significantly reduce the workload post-mortem. Proactive debt and tax management. Addressing the estate's debts and tax obligations early in the process can prevent delays related to creditor claims or tax disputes. Settling an estate in Georgia is a process that demands patience and attention to detail. The role of an executor or personal representative is both an honor and a responsibility, with a timeline that varies depending on the complexity of the estate and the probate court schedule. While there's no set deadline, personal representatives must act diligently and in good faith to wrap up the estate within a reasonable time frame. Understanding the intricacies of the probate process is key, and for those who find the task daunting, seeking legal guidance can help ensure that all legal obligations are met efficiently and effectively. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the duties of being a personal representative, or if you wish to plan your estate to simplify the process for your loved ones, an experienced Atlanta probate attorney can provide the support and experience you need to navigate the legal process with confidence. Don't let the legal intricacies of estate planning and probate slow you down. Don't let the legal intricacies of estate planning and probate slow you down. Contact Trace Brooks Law today at 404-492-9559 for personalized guidance. Take the first step towards a smooth and successful estate settlement.